All right, I'm live early, so I'm just gonna let everybody in Twitter, Minds, and Float know I am actually live. Oh boy, channel. I don't know how that showed up in my recommended channel. Show my video. Some videos. Is it there? Channel. Nope. Wait. Whatever. Huh. Thing for me to do. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna close this. Okay. So fine and dandy. Um, all right, we are live. Hello, everybody. This is King Tut here, and welcome to another live stream tutorial. And this time it's gonna be from Twitch. So in this live stream, well, right in front of you, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be exploring and reviewing the Brave browser. So in the last time I did a dive-in video, I did Brave search, and I told you that I would do a dive in on Brave browser next time. Well, I actually am doing it right now, and um, I've been using Brave browser. It's I actually I personally like Brave browser, and I'm pretty sure everybody who are like into tech and everything, how do I call it? Tech nerds? I think just nerds who are into those kind of things really, really like Brave browser. I mean, the name speaks for itself. Very brave of like taking away ads, just having ad blocker built in, having having even crypto built in. And recently, a few months ago, now they're adding IPFS. They added IPFS into the Brave browser. So now Brave has IPFS. If you don't know what IPFS is, it's basically it's a peer-to-peer file transfer. So instead of having all those data be centralized and all those websites be centralized, it's gonna be from one person to one person, aka one peer to another peer. So if your computer got lost, damaged, or not, or something, the file that you uploaded will get lost as well. So nobody can see it. Another great thing here is it's your control, not the person, not the person above who runs a bunch of server every day and pays for that amount of server. So it's decentralized. That's basically what IPFS is. So the Brave browser adds that layer of privacy with IPFS. And speaking of privacy, Brave is it's private. They don't really track you, hence this data. They have a track blocker. It's basically like Firefox, except much better. Like Firefox was supposed to be anti-tracking, anti-blocking, anti-ads, which they are. However, the fact that they are working with Google, they are funded by Google as well, kind of makes things skeptical because Google doesn't really have a good reputation when it comes to data handling. Um, Google uh, Google basically sells people's data. They're not good with making use of your data. They abuse your data, which is not good. Um, that's why that's why Brave browser is a very viable alternative to Firefox and Chrome, and especially Edge. So diving straight in, the background, you have this new tab right here. Very nice background, very beautiful. You have recommended or not recommended, the websites they usually go to are listed there. The time right now. So um, if you're on different time zones, it's gonna be very different. Mine, I'm at Eastern time, so this is 8:34 Eastern time, and it shows you how many trackers and ads being blocked, the bandwidth is being saved by doing that, and the time that is being saved by doing that. And so far, track there's like 410,503 trackers and ads are blocked. So that's pretty good. Then at the bottom, you have scroll for Brave News. And if you're not a bit of a news person like me, just want to live under a rock, just click no thanks. It's not going to bother you anymore. There's customization features. There are bookmarks, so it's going to show you different bookmarks right here. It also shows you bookmarks on, as you see here, if you go into a different tab, it shows you newer, new background image. And sometimes these kind of background image are how do I say it? Or crypto shows Bitcoin and BAT, which is basically Brave rewards. You usually get it. One like sometimes there are gonna be days you're gonna get it by just basically solving some puzzle. Um, it's pretty and ads and different links that I'm unsure of, but I heard like I think last year or the year before you get like 1 million worth of BAT if you like share the Brave browser link and people actually download it. I'm not it's I think it's a chance to win or probably you just actually win it. I'm not really sure. So that's that's pretty nifty. And also there are different exchange and different like yeah, different exchange and wallets that accepts BAT or Bitcoin, Brave reward, not Bitcoin rewards. And it also shows you different exchanges. Binance, which is uh, a centralized exchange, used to be good. Now it caved in to pressure and so on, and became really corrupt. So it's not. I stay away from Binance. I'm using Bitrex. I'd recommend anyone to go there. I wouldn't recommend people who are using library credits because ever since Library Inc. got sued by the SEC, the Bitrex stopped having exchange from library credits to Bitcoin. So it's unfortunate, but what could we do? Um, you, you could actually there's other exchange that allows you to hold not only hold library credits but also exchange it uh exchange library credits to Bitcoin, so on and so forth. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. You could actually follow library the library Twitter account where they actually like show you news about library and rant about stuff about library. It's like supportive of library. um I remember one of their tweets has one of the exchange that accepts library credit and even exchanging library credits to Bitcoin, so on and so forth. So that's pretty good. Gemini is uh another exchange, but unfortunately, yeah, you could hold library credits, but you can't exchange library credits to Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with it. It's built that way. It's built that way, so it's unfortunate. Crypto.com, it's powered by Visa. It's also exchange. Also, it's a wallet as well as Gemini and Binance. It's also a wallet. But crypto.com, it gives you a Visa card for basically doing transactions with crypto, with yeah, with crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, so on and so forth. Even Dogecoins. Yeah, so if you're into Dogecoins, crypto.com uh, can offer transaction via for Dogecoin. And it's not to say Gemini and Binance doesn't do it, but I think Yeah, Gemini and Binance are also wallets, but they're not pretty mainstream. They're not pretty like mainstream like crypto. And it's and the reason why I mention it, uh, I crypto into details because it's literally all over YouTube ads. So, yep, yep. I don't know about FTX. Balance, explore features, more future markets, and convert crypto. I guess it's a stock market and crypto exchange, kind of like SoFi. It could also edit cards. So I basically have all the cards in there. So it's just there's just a limited amount of cards there. It's just basically all five cards in there. You could actually change clock. So I'm gonna actually go through customizing dashboard and as well as exploring settings and playing around with it to the best of my ability. So so in clock you could actually it has the option to either show clock or actually hide clock or show clock. And it could actually show you whether you want to have 12-hour clock or 24-hour clock, military time if you're depending on where you at. And then you could go to Brave News. So if you decide to be like, hey, I just want to look at news now, you could click on that. Or if you want to hide it, you could just click again to hide it. And then it shows you either like which top sites. You could either hide types top sites or show it. You could show the frequently. You could have Brave show the frequently visited, or you could actually have Brave show favorites. I'm gonna say with favorites. And you could also show Brave stats if you want to, or you could actually hide it. Also, background, if you want Brave to show background image, you could do so. Nah, it's gonna look like this. And you could allow Brave to show sponsored image. So the one that you saw with the tree with Bitcoins and everything, that's a sponsored image. So I'm gonna leave the sponsored image because why not? I mean, it doesn't bother me. So yeah. Um, Also, you could actually hide clock from here or hide any of these by clicking on the three dots. And you could do search a whatever your search engine is. In my case, is Brave Search because it was released as beta. And I'm like, why not? I just use Brave Search since it's related to Brave and it's much better than Google or DuckDuckGo. I mean, just support their search engine. So if let's just say I want to search for cats and I don't know the exact or I'm not sure about the URL, I just want to search for cats. It's just gonna be there. It's gonna show up your favorite search engine and you just search for whatever websites for that suits your purpose for cats. If you want to go to Wikipedia, go ahead. And if you want to set Brave Search as default, you could do so. I already did it. I already put it as default. I mean, I don't know why it's asking me to put it as default. I don't know what this is. Add not anonymous local results off. Yeah, I'm just gonna enable. Oh, okay, so it actually refreshed. Okay, so anonymous local results is on. And then let's look at some cat images, cat photos. Very nice, very looks beautiful. If you're a dog fan and not a fan of cats, well, I'm sorry. I'd feel sorry for you. But yeah, cats are adorable. So if you want to go to a certain URL, let's just say, let me think here. Let's just go to, let's say, trying to think of Wikipedia. Wikipedia.org. And if you look at the load time, it's pretty fast. But since I'm streaming, it it's gonna be pretty slow. So let's click on English. And as you see here, it's pretty fast. Let's go to another website, blender.org. And if you don't know Blender is basically a 3D software. But it's not just limited to 3D. It's also, you could do 2D things in Blender, but it's mostly 3D. You could do 3D modeling. You could do 3D. You could do materials for 3D. You could even animate, do game development in 3D. You could also do animation in 2D using a feature in Blender called Grease Pencil. Another thing you could do here is you could do video editing in Blender, which you could actually do it from videos you actually recorded or videos or animation you've made in Blender. And you could actually program, it doesn't always have to be limited to game development, but you could actually program whatever software you want to make in Blender using Python programming language. So yeah, it actually loads pretty fast and very smooth scrolling. If you're seeing it's lagging, that's because I'm live streaming, so you're gonna see some lag. So it's pretty fine. The scrolling is smooth. Click on features. Pretty smooth. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so speaking of wallets, I didn't realize this, but it's there on Brave. I don't know why it's not opening it up. There you go. There's a Brave wallet. It's pretty cool. You could actually swap tokens, or you could actually send it or receive it. That's pretty nice. Select asset. And doesn't matter which one. I don't know if they do Dogecoin. Oh, they don't do Dogecoin. They have Uni. Yeah, they have Uni. So that's pretty cool. So you could actually swap from uh, Brave Brave rewards to whatever tokens you want to do. So that's basically what you could do. I don't know if you could actually receive it. Can you receive it? Hmm. I don't know. It's weird. doesn't seem like it does receive it, but hmm. And the reason why I'm showing you this, showing you wallets like this, built into Brave, I have MetaMask. Unfortunately, I don't know my password. I thought I know, but it seems like they're not letting me. Wait, let me put in my password. Let's see if this works. Sweet. Awesome. Okay. Send, swap. Oh no, I don't think I could receive it. So yeah, so these kind of wallets, if you're doing NFTs, which stands for non-fungible tokens, basically selling your stuff, selling your arts, selling tweets, whatnot, you would need these. Also, if you're using mines, you would need MetaMask. All right, so that's that. If you want to open a new tab, it's always going to show you this with a different background. Um, so let's go into extensions. So extensions are going to be shown here if you allow it to show it. So what I mean here is you go to extension here and you basically pin it. If you want more extensions, go to manage extensions, and I think you go to web store on the bottom, and it's gonna be the Chrome web store. The reason for this here is Brave was built out of the Chromium web engine. And don't worry, Chromium web engine is just a skeleton. It has nothing to do with like tracking or anything. So if you guys are thinking, wait a sec, Brave is basically like Mozilla. Wait, are you basically telling me Brave is like Mozilla? It's gonna track us and all that? No, it's not gonna track you. Chromium is basically a bare bone of pretty much every browser. Like if you want to make any browser, basically most of the browsers use either um, Internet Explorer shells or the Mozilla Firefox shells, web engine, Safari shells, or the the Chromium shell, web engines shell. Because I mean, no, it's difficult to build your website from the bottom up. Build your browser, I meant, from the bottom up. It's pretty difficult, and these are just toolkits. They're just APIs. Just a bunch of windows with like all of these kind of extent all these layouts, all these functionalities. That's it. It has nothing to do with network. The networking is dependent on the people who are who are doing these things, who are building on top of the the web engine. All right, so Brave is built on top of Chromium. So Chromium is this kind of look and functionality. It has nothing to do with networking. It's just basically Brave is basically built on top of Chromium. It's basically Chromium with a bunch of Brave charms. So you go into the so it's basically built on Chromium, so it's going to be using the Chrome Web Store. And Brave is going to make sure nobody tracks you. So basically you could get whatever extensions you want to get or themes. So thinking about having new tabs, I guess. Social developer tools. Let's see developer tools. Live editor. Oh, I could actually make websites live. That's pretty cool. That's pretty live. Okay, let's do new tab. So if you don't know where it is, you could just search view tab, infinite dashboard, new tab, like no other. Pretty much slogan for every single extensions, every single company. Company like no other. Oh boy. If I have a nickel for these kind of slogans, I'd be rich. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's add it to Brave. So you click on add to Brave if you want to install it, and then it's gonna pop up this, and then just add extension, and you just wait for it, and then it's just gonna download it here, and bam, actually installed. It's a, it's gonna, so since depending on different extension, it's gonna have a new tab telling you, welcome, thank you for installing our Chrome extension. And so some extensions gonna just show you that. Others are gonna show you like, oh, the next steps, stuff like that. Yeah, just keep it. Gonna show you this, I guess, and each extension has its own customization. For the sake of this live stream, I'm just gonna go with DuckDuckGo. Search bar color, let's make it dark. Let's make it rounded. Make search bar dark and rounded. Background, like space. So do this with an astronaut. Has some meaning towards it. It's looking at an astronaut. Apps. Let's see if there's any other. Okay, any other things? So hub, I don't know what that is. Okay. Oh, so it's just it does that. Yeah, let's just remove it from Brave. Yeah, this one kind of suck. Wouldn't recommend it. Sorry, infinite dashboard. Didn't mean to bash you like that. So yeah, if you want to get extensions, this is the place to go. It keeps your history. But you could actually go to history if you want to clear out history. You clear browsing data, and you could clear how many browsing stuff you have. Even download history, or even autofill, whatnot, passwords, so on and so forth. And then you could just clear data, and you could have the time range from last hour, or basically all time. I remember, so because this is Chromium, the old version of Chromium, so this is built on top of Chromium. So the old version of Chromium, um, there was a, instead of all time, it was beginning of time. Like some kind of Shakespearean kind of line. Oh boy, that's hilarious. Oh, I didn't know they have social media blocking. That's amazing. Love Facebook's logins, and embedded posts. I don't know what that is. Then you have privacy and security. So right now I'm gonna be all over the place. Um, with every live stream, I'm gonna be all over the place. Yeah. Let's see. So let's look at these kind of things. Here's themes. If you wanna change your theme, you go to the Chrome Web Store, you just change the theme to whatever floats your boat. I'm feeling a bit red. I like red. There you go. Now it's red. Now let's see if I could actually, let's see if the background change. It doesn't. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Login state changed outside of Chrome. Okay. Boom. Okay, so let's look into settings. So I guess, so I'm going to be exploring some settings. So with every live stream, I'm all over the place, and I'm going to be doing exploring as well as reviewing. So it's kind of like unboxing, except except uh on computer. And if you guys are wondering about the hardware part, I haven't forgotten about it. Um, I just don't have any other hardware to review. Well, I'll let you guys know. And also, I don't know how to live stream from my phone. So this is unfortunate. Once I figure it out, I'll be doing a live stream for hardware, 100%. Right. So basically, appearances, font size. So you could actually change fonts, I guess. Let's look at suggested sites. Huh. Suggested sites and autocomplete suggestion. That's pretty cool. Oh, it actually has IPFS. So, in the settings, so that's pretty cool. Since it makes sense because Brave has IPFS built into it. It merged, not merged with IPFS, but it has IPFS as a feature, as a feature of Brave. Let's just do all of this. Let's just enable everything. What's dweb.link? It's paste and go. Oh, okay. Cool. If you don't know what dweb is, it's decentralized web. Um, Basically, the internet is decentralized itself. Now, but nowadays it's like it's being consolidated by few websites. Social media, it's kind of what makes decentralized, not decentralized internet, not more decentralized. So they're trying to find a way to mitigate the situation to prevent this kind of thing from happening. And also, it makes it easier for people who are uploading websites. You're gonna see a lot of tutorials on YouTube uploading websites, on how to upload websites on IPFS. It's pretty cool. It's very, very cool. So there's like a, it's just basically educating you about address, IPFS on the web. What else? This is a refresh button. So let's just say I want to do this as favorites. So you could actually drag here, or you just add favorites and just be done with it. You could actually rename it. If you want to add favorites folder, you do that. Just new folder, very creative. Add page. You can add whatever page you want to put, whatever website. Um, let's just delete that. Just keep that here. You could actually sync from your phone to your computer. So I don't really have. Let's see. Let's do Brave. Brave. The reason why I was I'm currently using Mozilla Firefox. The reason why I'm currently using it, I was gonna test out the NFTs, but I didn't get a chance to do it. So I might as well go back to Brave. I might as well go back and forth with Brave and um, Firefox. Yeah, despite like suspicion on Firefox, I mean, I have no complaints. There's some features I really, really like picture in picture, automatic picture in picture, and reading mode using Pocket. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I could sync my phone. Oh, edit settings, sync. There you go. Scan or enter sync code. There you go. Add a new device. No, no. That's it. Okay, there you go. Okay, so sync started. So let's just say, let's see if I could actually test this. It's a home screen, desktop site, home screen. Oh, that's not it. Whoops. So let's say I want to go into google.com. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Group tab. No. Share? Can I share this? Share. Let's see. Send it to my devices. Turn on sync. I think I did turn on sync. Turn on sync on Brave settings. Okay, let's. Sync everything. See if I could do that. Let's see. Sync, 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 sync. Okay. Let's do. Yeah. On the other device. Okay, so sync. Manage my sync device. Sync everything. Now, can I do that? Device active today. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I need to press the device itself. See if it actually does it. Seems like it's not. Not syncing to Google. It's not syncing to the desktop. It's not. Oh, there it is. So as you see here, so if you haven't noticed, I got a notification that is showing me that. That's pretty weird. Got a notification telling me that that the website is already that website has been like synced. Like it's sent to the desktop. It's in my other screen, so probably you haven't seen it. But you'll get a notification. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what else. Crypto wallets. Downloads. You have downloads stored there. History. Brave rewards. QR code for iOS reward users. Transferring bats. And also, if you really want ads, which I'm pretty sure you don't, but if you're a fan of it for some odd reasons, um, you could actually disable you could actually disable ads in the settings by by clicking the hamburger menu, going to settings, privacy and security. I think they have ads. I'm pretty sure they have ads. Their data. Look, third-party cookie. Send a do not track request. You could do that. If you want to be tracked, or see why you want to be tracked. Site and shield settings. Okay. See if they have search. Oh, they have search. If you're having trouble, search. There's a search feature. Let's make it aggressive. But if you really want to disable it, you could go to the drop down menu and just disable it. But I don't know why. I don't know why you would disable ad blocking. Nobody wants to see ads. Fingerprinting. Let's keep it standard. Keep blocking. Block scripts. Actually, upgrade connection to HTTPS. That's recommended to make your website secure. That way, malware and crazy stuff, viruses, doesn't end up being on that website. Let's see what else. And it also rewards you for ads. So yeah, Brave kind of shows you ads, but they're not. But it also block ads in every website you visit. But they like once in a while they just do like ads, like notify in a notifying way. Um. Also, if you want to claim it, you could claim it, but you just basically do the puzzles. So it tells you to drag and drop this logo to the triangle target. So you just click, hold, and drag it to the triangle target. And there you go. I earned 0.750 BAT. Brave rewards. Let's see if I could actually. Oh, so it's in different. I could actually authorize that information. Okay, so I'll have to connect with globally ID or global ID. think it's a I think it's either a crypto wallet or just identity. It's like solid apps. Speaking of which, I'm gonna be doing a dive-in next time. I'm thinking about doing a dive-in for solid apps, for because it's worth doing a review. Um, I think I pretty much explored everything. So if you guys are one, so if you guys want to know what I think, I'll tell you right now. Well, I think I really like it. Very smooth. I've been using it a lot. I actually like the settings. Settings are very, very customizable. I'm a very big fan of of customizability, of customization, because the lack of customization doesn't make it doesn't make the program fun, doesn't even make an operating system fun. It just makes it stale because you can't shape it to what you want. So my so when I was using Windows 98, it has crazy customization in terms of the sound, windows, the skins, everything. Everything. And I was actually happy about it. Now you can't. It wasn't the case. Unless you have to like put some unless you have to do some crazy stuff and you have to disable antivirus because you have to put that certain skin, which I'm not going to be doing it. But yeah, it's not customizable anymore. And their theme feature, their theme stores are basically a joke. So yeah, sorry if I have to hit that hard for window, but just take it as a feedback for you to be better. Microsoft. I'm a big fan of Windows. I grew up with Windows, but I just wish they have more customization features, especially with like the look and feel and themes and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm not talking about Microsoft. I'm talking about Brave. Brave has a lot of customization, even the look and feel, which that's pretty much every browser. Um, Especially this browser was built on Chromium. One thing I wish Brave would do is have its own unique web engine. I understand the fact that There's web developers that has to adhere to certain web engine and different standards and stuff. However, I think it's gonna add a layer of privacy if Brave were to go through that route of making its own web engine. Um, that could be an alternative to Chromium, Explorer, and all these well-known web engine. So thank you so much for watching. Um, be sure to follow me on Twitch, and if you're on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're on Odyssey, be sure to click that fire button and follow me there. And be sure to give me a comment on YouTube and Odyssey. Let me know what you think. Give me your feedback. And I'll see you next time. Bye.